Hello and welcome to the Parramatta Stadium for our kick-off to Optus Vision's coverage of rugby for 1997. And tonight it's the Hahn Cup, $60,000 in prize money, plenty to play for. Hi, I'm Russell Fairfax. Yes, it's a double-header tonight live from the Parramatta Stadium. 4 hours of the game they play in heaven. That's it, 4 hours of rugby. And joining the commentary team, a big man with some big calls to make in 1997, wounded Wallaby lock, Warwick War.
Thank you, Russell. It's great to be calling the game here with Optus Vision. If I can't be down on the field, then this is the next best position.
Warwick, a ripped rotator cuff has prematurely ended the season for you. What's the immediate future hold?
Well, it didn't even start it, so this year the opportunities to do a bit of calling and enjoy the game from here. I think I'll probably play better football up here than down on the field.
Okay, there's no doubt about it. Let's take a look at what's coming your way tonight as we preview these matches. First up, big game, last year's beaten finalists and the big improvers for 97, Eastwood taking on Sydney University. New coach Bill Eddy, a new faces in the team and a new attacking philosophy. Game number 2 sees Gordon, the Highlanders, take on home ground favourites here at Parramatta Stadium, the Parramatta 2 Blues. And Warwick, just quickly, the first game, Sydney University up against Eastwood. Some new faces on both sides and some familiar faces. Who do you like?
University, very young, very keen, but I think Eastwood's experience after last year's great season will see them come through tonight.
Well, Warwick War's tipping Eastwood first time up. I'm going to spend a season getting a sore neck looking skywards because we're going to cross down to the best sideline eye in any football code, a line-out specialist, former Wallaby lock, at Steve Cutler.
Thanks, Russell. Well, terrific conditions down here on the sideline. Parramatta Stadium looking an absolute picture. Really looks like we should be playing cricket and not rugby. Good game tonight. Eastwood, as you said, had a terrific season in 96. The question remains, can they do it again in 97 or can they do one better? Uni, on the other hand, they've been training their house down from what I hear during the summer, and I reckon they might just get one started on the Eastwood pack tonight, so I'll go for them. Back to you and the big man in the commentary position.
Well, thank you, Steve. Steve Cutler. Well, we've got the two big men. Warwick Wars going for Eastwood. Steve Cutler, University. It's going to be a very interesting clash, to say the least. 2 rounds last year these guys played each other. Eastwood were victors in both of them. Round 1 last year, 30-27 to Eastwood, a real close game. Round 15, 39-15, it favours Eastwood. You're tipping a big scoreline tonight, Warwick?
No, it'll be pretty tight. Early days, early season, and both sides will be feeling each other out. They haven't had a lot of experience. Sydney University only played one pre-season match, but as Steve said, they've had a lot of off-season training, and Bill Eddy, he's come into the season with some new ideas, trying to bring Sydney Uni back to the old style of running rugby as students were so famous for in the early days.
Just looking at the university lineup, we'll take a good look, but 2 new faces, John Manenti and Nick Perkins. They'll add a bit of fire up front.
When you think of Nick Perkins, you think of East Rugby for a long time there, but he's come across to Sydney Uni. John Manetti, very experienced campaigner, did a lot of off-seasons over for the Benetton club with Mark Giaccheri and Michael Liner. So they're going to both bring a lot of experience into the side of a relatively young university side.
If we take a look at Eastwood, well, just a couple of faces in the lineup. No Spooner, taken by Wiesmantle. No Matthew Burke, again, another Wiesmantle in the play. But just the same, they still have Scott Staniforth, they have Matt Miller, who's available, Sam Cordingley's in there, Jeff Reed, Helani Pahiva, Dreves and Grice. I mean, it has the familiar look of 1996.
They might be lacking a little bit of the flair, but the forward pack is essentially the same, and that's what really won them the game. They managed last year, or got them the success, because they managed to hold the big forward packs and use that flair that they've got so much of in the back line. They're going to miss the flanker from Eastwood, Adam Leach, who's just been given the New South Wales contract, but I think Eastwood, they'll still hold them well in the forwards.
Well, lovely pictures. Dusk out here at Parramatta Stadium as the fans start to arrive for opening match in the 1997 season. Sydney University taking on Eastwood, the opener for the Hahn Cup, and out come Sydney Uni, the first match in the familiar blue and gold bars, or hoops as you might like to call them. As we take a look at their lineup for this evening, fullback Kelleher, on the wings Edwards and Pryor, good centre pairing in Shepherd and Murray, War, Wilson the halves, Challenger at number 8, Boney and Michael Bolsher, the two back rowers, and Nick Perkins and Mark Avery. That should be a very interesting clash there. Up front, Mark Lahillia, the Victorian, John Minetti slips into hooker, and Jason Riley is the other prop. I like the look of their tight five, Warwick.
Yes, it's a pretty formidable team. Looking down there on the field, you see the new Andrew Harding playing for Sydney University last year against Randwick. He had a fantastic debut. They pulled him up from Colts, and he really gave Randwick backline and forwards a run for their money in his debut match in first grade.
Well, out come the Blue and Whites, Eastwood. What a mighty season they had in '96. Can they emulate that, or can they take it a couple more steps forward and perhaps claim the grand final? Hot-looking side, though. Scott Wisemantle at fullback, Norton and Matt Miller on the wing, Staniforth and McGill in the centres. Cordingly goes into half-back. Reid, Thomas, Pahiva the back row. Familiar faces, Grice and Dreves, the two workhorses at locks, and Spooner, Green and Jenkins up front. Pretty solid-looking front three, if you ask me. And we're just about ready to get underway here at Parramatta Stadium. This should be a cracking game. We look at both of these sides from last year. We'll see that, well, there's referee David Begg, of course. He will officiate in the opening match. He'll let this game flow. Some new rule changes, which we'll get into a little bit later on. Warwick Moore will tell you all about those. But there's a couple of interesting facts to come out of this. Sydney University were beaten last year in the plate final. They lost to Randwick in their opening game, then defeated Central West and Manly, and eventually lost to Newcastle 30-17 in the final. Eastwood, they defeated South in the opening match and then lost 54-10 to Warringah. And we are underway. Game one, Hahn Cup 1997. Solid tackle first up. Well, the ball has gone forward off white hands. A solid looking tackle and really puts the University under enormous pressure.
Harding, shaky start.
This will be a University ball. Just waiting for it to come. Back to Tim Kelleher, goes to the safety of the sideline. But that ball out on the full, and that's one of the new rules, Warwick.
Yes, according to the new rules, the ball kicked out on the full anywhere in the field, including the in-goal, has to come back to where it was kicked. It must touch ground inside the touch line before it goes out. Then get the benefit of the line out.
Ball kicked by Tim Kelleher, but now a great attacking position for the Eastwood side. About 15 metres out, and a Woodies ball in the line out. Great take there, Stuart Drees. Nice two-handed take. Accordingly awaits, long ball. Turned back inside. Staniforth caught under the post.
There's blindside action.
Knocked forward, but already a penalty in kicking distance.
The University, they need the ball. They cannot get on top of this game, and Eastwood, that's all they've had. Possession. Tim Kelleher, big mistake, that ball going out on the full. He's probably getting used to the new rules as well.
This will be first shot at goal for the Woodies. Andrew Wisemantle, the younger of the two brothers playing today, 23 years of age. Oak Hill College through and through, went to school there and now teaches there.
Brother Scott actually toured with the Wallaby team last year as the video analysis person. He looks like he's dropped a few kilos than he did have on at the end of the tour.
Wisemantle, Andrew Wisemantle, just about ready to take this shot. Drop goals and penalties, only 2 points. Strikes it very cleanly. That's the first points of the season. A penalty goal to Eastwood. They now lead 2-0.
Well, University soaking up a lot of pressure early in this first half and first game of the season. Eastwood, they're coming out, the well-drilled side that they finished last year.
Kelleher restarts play. Long kick, almost to 22. Not clearly taken. This one runs down the sideline. Kelleher there to greet it. Well, a little bit too strong over the in goal, and they will come back to where that was kicked. I guess the players are just starting to get the feel of these new rules. A little bit unsure, but it won't take long.
Well, that rule came in a year ago. Tim Kelleher might have to read the rule book. The ball kicked down dead. That's a ramification from the South Africans. When they first came in, all they did was kick for field possession. The new rule came in after that.
So we just saw Jeff Reed, the number 8 for Eastwood, on the sideline. Looks like a dislocated thumb or finger. Let's hope he's okay. The hole there very quickly, and through it goes Jonathan McGill. Quick hands, Eastwood. Again, they surge forward. Well, the ball has gone forward in the tackle. No advantage. So they'll pack a scrum down just on 33 metres out from University's line. But we have an injured player. The referee will pull up the play till he's attended to.
Eastwood, the well-drilled side there. In that last breakdown in the last phase before the breakdown, there's no secrets how they're going to play. They're taking the ball up hard in the forwards, setting it and getting a quick runner or two off, drawing in the loose Sydney Uni defence, and then they'll look at their backs.
Well, man, in picture now, Scott Wisemantle, fullback for Eastwood. Looks like it's an ankle problem. Again, he's also from Oakville. AIS rugby coach, as Warwick Wall mentioned, big G's, they can't afford to lose some of their senior men, especially with the likes of Burke, Graham Bond, Nathan Spooner, Adam Leach on duty in South Africa with the New South Wales side. They need to keep these more senior players on the field. Should he go off, along with Jeff Reed, this will give the university side a major boost in confidence.
Real concern for Eastwood as Scott Meisner actually went into the game with a hamstring concern.
There's John McKee, famous Scouts Coach of the Year from '96. A bit concerned even this early in the season. The university take this ball. Andrew Harding has the cut-out pass. The ball just a little bit too strong. Eastwood have claimed possession, but they'll come back and play the original knock-on by University.
University can't seem to settle into this game. As expected, they only had one match prior to this, so this is really a trial game for the Hahn Cup, but they won't want to lose. There's good prize money up for this tournament.
And with some success in '96, University finalist in the plate division, they would like to go perhaps a little bit further this year. We see the first scrum of the season hit the deck. Won't be the last, I can assure you of that. Accordingly, with the ball in hand, ready to feed. Ball has come out, they go to snipe down the short side. Accordingly held by the jumper. The Woolies pack storm into this one. Great attacking opportunity if they can get the ball.
Wrapped up by Uni.
Yeah, great work by the University back row to get there and then to claim the ball. And now they're putting on their own form of pressure as they drive this one forward. It's gone about 10 metres so far. The referee has found number 16.
University, great composure.
Number
17. To wrap the tackle up and then turn it around into an offensive maul.
Well, ball into touch. University throw in the line. Almost to halfway. 1.5 metres, University side of halfway. Still no score here at Parramatta Stadium in this first quarter.
18, 93. Only
6 minutes gone.
A lot of familiar faces in the Eastwood line-out. The two jumpers, Reed.
Mark Amy at the front, claimed that one. Nice two-handed take as they continue to drive it forward. They're over halfway for the first time. University on the surge. Down the short side, ran into traffic. Round the side was Lee Green, just waiting for it. Nick Wilson, the halfback, and he didn't miss him.
Well, Nick Wilson definitely went the wrong way there. He's gone blind. And Lee Green wrapped him up in a great tackle, kept him on his feet, giving Eastwood the scrum feed.
The referee asking for the crouch. He gets it. Well, it's just not working. This is 3 times the scrum has collapsed. The referee will eventually have a chat to these 2 teams. Penalty the next time, for sure.
Eastwood back line very deep. It looks like a move on.
You expect the Woodies to go to their backs. A little bit too keen. Accordingly, inside ball. That was Scott Staniforth. Alani Pahiva, strong running. Great back rower. One of the stars for Eastwood for 96. Almost looked like a fall. The referee says play on. They go to the open side. Flicks it back in. Super bit of play that time from the hooker just floating around out. The hooker just floating around out there. Third phase, as they continue to come to backs, there's room out here. And all they do need to pass is Scott Staniforth. He'll get over for the first one. Yeah, great piece of play. Well executed piece of football by the Woodies team. Third or fourth bit of phase play, and they're over in the right-hand corner.
Well, the Woodies, they built that from nothing. They've taken the scrum up the back in the half at the half of the field. And as we see the last pass, the last phase here, ball's gone wide. A simple case of too many players, not enough defenders. But that was created way before then.
Well, Scott Staniforth is the man at the end. We just said Pahiva just floating in the back line, acting as an extra man. Plenty of pace. Scott Staniforth, just 19, former Australian schoolboy. Looks like he could be a permanent member of this back line. We first saw him in 96. Filling in for some of the state players. He did a marvellous job. We'll see more of him this year. Andrew Wisemantle. Difficult conversion attempt. Strikes it well, but inside the right-hand upright. And the Woodies have increased their lead. 7 points to 0 over Sydney University. And 10 minutes gone in this first quarter.
Eastwood really picking up where they left off last year. Their forwards very well drilled, creating 3 to 4 phases and just creating a simple overlap that University couldn't counter.
Kelleher restarts play. Ball gone forward. It looks like it's pretty well tied up there. Steve Cutler, what's happening down there?
Yeah, Eastwood forward at the start of the game very, very well. Put that last try down to Halani Pahiva. Their start from 1996 to start of 1997 in a big way.
Certainly has, and a great take by Tim Kelleher there. Put the body on the line. No room for Nick Wilson.
Never on side. Well, you have to retire before you can touch the ball. Came out of the back of the ruck. Saw the replacement player, Travis Hall, pick it up from an offside position, University.
Well, that number changes in that jumper. That is number 16. That's Cameron Fear. He joined from Eastwood, former Australian schoolboy. He was found lurking offside. Tim Kelleher will get a chance to post first points for Sydney University in the season 1997. Just on, close on 28, 29 metres out, about 15 metres off centre. Kelleher, a reliable goal kicker. Spent many of his years playing with Randwick, and before that, Eastwood. And now makes his home out at Sydney University. Not a difficult kick for a man of his ability. Strikes it well. But unfortunately just inside that left-hand upright. So we'll come back out to the 22 for a restart of play. Scoreline, 7 points to 0 in favour of Eastwood over Sydney University.
Sydney University, that's the first real ball they've had from the high ball from Tim Kelleher, but they didn't look convincing when they got it at the back.
Under the ball.
Eastwood back row. Quickly to go. They've claimed that ball. As they take it forward, almost caught on halfway. The Eastwood Storm, pack Storm in. This will come out cornering. They come to the right-hand side. Plenty of defence. Nowhere for Jonathan McGill to go. He's turned it very well. Cameron Fear, the first man there as they go to the backs. Cut out ball. Oh, gee, that was close. Matt Miller out there, one of the leading try scorer for 1996, just waiting to get the first field of the football. Cut out past that time by Andrew Wiseman, nearly intercepted by Pryor. We take a quick look at it again.
Pryor just a couple of inches too short, but it would have been a great intercept, and there was no one in front.
Warwick, if he was your size, he was home and hosed.
He was my pace, he wasn't.
10 metres universities have claimed on Eastwood, on their side of halfway, and they also have the feed. They go to short side. Challoner picked up from the back. Wilson continued to take it that short side, but they've lost the ball. There's plenty of space out wide here. Ball through, Pryor has it. Kelleher found some space. He's dribbled it down inside the 22. Good chase too by Pryor. But clever work by Wiseman. Pahiva comes across field, just shoving off tackles. What a strong man. Great body position. Excellent body position by Pahiva. There was never any way that they were going to lose that ball.
Pahiva doing the great work a back row is supposed to, linking his forwards with his backs. You see him come across field. He just palms off the University defence with contempt. Places the ball back. University, you can't do that. You cannot hold the ball in a ruck situation. The referee quick to spot it.
Well, Steve Cutler looking at Eastwood, is it only a matter of time?
No, Russell, I'll tell you what, Eastwood playing very well, but to University, their own worst enemies. They're giving far too much ball away, too many turnovers, and then the ball they do get, they're kicking it away.
On the money, as always, Steve Cutler, as we see University inside their 22 again. They look to drive it deep, looking at the boot to get them out of trouble. Floating back there, Scotty Wiseman now has it. Gone are the days where he can kick for touch. University has it. Nick Perkins, first run for 97. Hoping that injured knee stands up, Nick. Reconstruction back in 94. He was on rest. They've gone for the quick tap. Found some space. Through goes Kieran Shepherd, but caught. Accordingly picks it up. University's pinched that one back. Away they go. Kurt Boney heads centre field. This time Mark Challoner. But ball went forward.
Players down everywhere. Frenetic pace the last couple of phases. Ball changing hands. Changing teams 2 or 3 times. Sydney University, they want to run it. They want to play a quick game. They just can't seem to execute it.
Away they go from the back. There goes Kurt Boney, wrapped up there, ball set up, picks it up. Yeah, it's come out of his grasp, unfortunately, just gone forward. Mark Avery. I think the jumpers will be getting hot and sweaty, and that one's just been squeezed out. Again, disappointing for University in a great attacking position, and the turnovers continue to flow.
But to get anywhere in this game, University are going to have to pick up their ball handling. They've dropped far too much ball in very, very open positions. We saw the early tap, and the second pass just went to ground.
Injured man there, Anthony Thomas. Back row for Eastwood. Nicknamed Tough Break. Well, he certainly had one early in the piece. Tight head. And that is a penalty because the halfback, Warwick War, cannot come over the line across through the middle of the scrum. If he does that, he's deemed to be offside. Great ball. Through goes Kurt Boney again. University on the charge. Kelleher. Short ball. There's a try. Pryor goes over for Sydney University. That'll make the students happy, and it was a well-worked move.
Great confidence booster for University. They've been looking for it. You just get that feeling they're a couple of feet ahead of themselves, and that time they managed to hold on to the ball and executed a wonderful try.
Let's take a look at, away they go. Tim Kelleher, the little short ball, he's just gone through. Pryor, strong running, he's busted through a tackle. Big pumping legs, he's just moved it around a little bit close to the post. But gee, great work here by Jason Riley to pick it up, acting as a halfback, big man. And look at Pryor, just too hard to stop 15 metres out. Real tough tackle for Andrew Wiseman. He'll learn from that one.
University They've managed to hold on to that ball. Riley did a great job picking it up at pace and gave Eastwood the opportunity, gave University the opportunity.
Kelleher strikes it. It's a good-looking kick. Gee, that has put a different slant on this ball game here at Parramatta Stadium. The opening one in the Hahn Cup. We've got it all level, 7 points apiece, and just 3 minutes until the end of the first quarter.
Well, would you expect it? The way Eastwood came out, all guns blazing, they looked to be all over University. University had no composure in the first 10 minutes, and then suddenly it's 7-all.
Bill Eddy's got them firing. Restart play by Wisemantle. Perkins takes it, but gets turned. This will be a University feed. Steve Cutler. University starting to do their thing.
Well, they haven't been in this game for the last 15 minutes, but some of the last couple of minutes, they've got into it, they've got a try, and they're really smoking. I reckon it'll give them plenty of confidence for the second quarter.
Warwick Ward mentioned it, the young side ready to attack. And again, that boot is being used. You'd want to be spot on because it can't go into touch on the full. Wisemantle returns the kick. Tim Kelleher loves to run the football. He's running out of some troops there. Found himself isolated. The back row for University very quick to get there. They come to the open side. They had numbers, but they elected to hold the ball. This is phase number 3. As young Nick Wilson goes for a little scamper midfield. The forwards continuing to work. Bill Eddy's been driving them hard at training. Pryor falls perfectly for Alani Pahina. Just put the big mitt out and the ball stuck to it. This will be Eastwood ball, almost on halfway. Great spot to attack from. And they have got numbers out wide. Instead they turn it back inside. Solid hit. Michael Boucher on Jonathan McGill. They gained no metres that time at all.
Quick ball from Eastwood is an opportunity wide.
Certainly is. Gee, just threw that to anybody. Miller turns it back inside. Minchner caught, and he's coughed up possession as Kurt Boney gets to halfway, and Sydney University maintain possession. Big dummy, looking for a little short ball, found it. Nice piece of play. We saw Carl Murray in the action for the first time. Harding again, cut out ball to Kelleher. Steps out of one tackle, strong player. Ball just doesn't come right. Mark Avery there in the thick of things.
University really starting to attack. A lot more control of the ball in this last 5 minutes, and they're starting to look dangerous. Eastwood wondering what's going on.
We'd like to think Eastwood had a couple of opportunities there to really move the ball out to their backs, and last year they made a name for themselves by some absolutely perfection in the back line. We're not seeing it yet. I know it's early days. I'm sure John McKee, the coach, will be talking to his backs about this. Solid defence, caught centre field, but oh no, Nick Perkins in there working overtime for the students. They want to come to the short side, and they do that. They need a ball back inside. Boney, he's everywhere. Inside the 22, can't get the ball back. Ball still in play. There's been a foot into touch. And that ends the first quarter here at Parramatta. And what a first quarter it's been. The scores are locked level at 7 points apiece, University and Eastwood, and it's been a very, very pacey first half. We'll take a short break. And just before we do, just been putting that scoreline 7-all. University take on Eastwood. We'll be back with more from the Hahn Cup in just a moment.
This weekend, live ARL action on Sports Australia.
Puts the foot down. Beautiful stuff in the final second. Ooh, he scores!
Live Saturday, the Parramatta Eels clash with the undefeated Sydney City Roosters. Then live Sunday, Souths take on West in a take-no-prisoners encounter.
Oh!
ARL Rugby League live in the Optus Cup. Saturday from 5, Sunday from 1:30 on Sports Australia. Every goal, every shot, every moment. Australian soccer at its finest. Channel 12's full coverage of the Ericsson Cup, the breeding ground of Socceroo superstars.
Look, I can see vapour trails coming off it.
Get hooked on the emotion, the guts and the skill of Australian soccer at its competitive best. Newcastle play Melbourne tonight at 11. Brisbane meet West Adelaide tomorrow at 9. South Melbourne take on Marconi 7 Sunday on Sports Australia. The ground will shake and the earth will rumble when the superstars of world wrestling collide in spectacular fashion every week on Optus Vision. For more of the manic mayhem that you've come to expect from the legends of professional wrestling.
Believe this?
Dive off the turnbuckle Tuesday with Sports Australia Channel 12. It's no place for the faint-hearted.
We'll see if we can't improve on 2 and finish number 1 this year.
The countdown's nearly over. The Swans, along with every other team, play their first round match this weekend. Don't miss it on Sports AFL. Sports Australia. All sport, all the time.
Welcome back to Parramatta Stadium. We've just seen the first quarter, Sydney University up against Eastwood, 7-all. We get ready to restart play. Gee, what a pacey first quarter that was, Warren.
Certainly was. Sydney University took in a lot of pressure from Eastwood and at a lot of pace. And University in the second half of the first quarter really came back and got on top, you'd have to say. Although they still kicked away possession where you would have thought it might have been better to run.
Well, there's no doubt Coach Bill Eddy will be telling University to keep the ball in hand as we restart play. Parramatta Stadium, 7-all, University and the students. And Steve Cutler, you stuck your head in both of those huddles. What was happening?
Well, the Woods coach, Johnny McKee, was very unhappy with the number of turnovers. He really wanted to decide to step up in that area and also to make their first tackles. On the other hand, Bill Eddy from University wanted more chat, and he wanted the first man in to get the ball and seal the ball off.
Well, play on there. Ball touched the University player in flight and fell so perfectly for Eastwood. Come to the short side, little tip over the top. Kelleher there, and a bit of Pele in action as he puts that ball over the sideline.
Not much Jimmy Kelleher could do. The lineouts thus far have been pretty even. They're one apiece, and the University team with young Mark Challender coming back from Japan after a 2.5-year stint over there should add a lot of strength to theirs.
Grice at number 2 for Eastwood. Drees at number 4. They go to the money man, Stewie Drees. Come on down, Stewie. What a great two-handed take. As they get to 10 metres, student side of halfway. Not much movement. Referee could have almost been entitled to pull this one up. As they roll it around the open side. Eastwood still very much in control. Ball there. They go to the backs. A big dummy and through a hole. Just can't quite find the support. And in-your-face defence from Sydney University, making life tough for the Eastwood backs.
Surprising to see Eastwood playing those mauling tactics against University. They haven't got the biggest side in the competition, certainly not tonight, but they're very well drilled, so I'm surprised to see that. I would have thought they'd like to roll it and hit 1 and 2 off the ruck, which has worked for them, certainly in the first quarter.
Well, Nick Perkins has been in fine form, but not that time. Mark Avery at number 2 in the line out. And you can hear plenty of talk out there in the field as they edge it just inches over halfway. It might only be early in the season, but they are both going at it, hammer and tong. Chip over the top, pretty much to no one. except the Eastwood side, as we see Dean. Mitch DeWiz almost set him up. He does. Matt Miller is opposite winger, supporting on the inside, and gee, Miller just makes a habit of scoring those tries. Does it so easily as well, but you can put that one down to a poor kick. Great take, Mitch DeWiz, and he skirted down the sideline, found Miller inside, and Miller, as always, does the job. 12 points to 7 now. Eastwood over Sydney University with a rather difficult kick to come for Andrew Wisemantle.
The ball, Eastwood get it back again. Sydney Uni, pointless kick. Coming down the wing. The inside ball to Matt Miller, who always finds himself at the right place at the right time. Coming across from his left wing. Great opportunist try. But Sydney University, they just keep kicking pointless kicks. Harding, nowhere. The kick went nowhere.
Yeah, it was a bad kick. It was a great take from Chris Norton, though, and he got around his man and down the sideline, got the ball inside to Matt Miller. Super ball inside. Matt Miller came from nowhere to get in the position to score that try. He's been doing that all 96, and I reckon he's in for a big year come 97.
Well, if he scores more tries than he did in 96, he will have a whiz of a year. Tough conversion attempt for Andrew Wisemantle. Strikes that one a bit better, but across the face of the goal line. And no change to the scoreline here at Parramatta Stadium. Just 5 minutes into the second quarter. Sydney University trailing Eastwood 12 points to 7.
A big blow for Sydney University. Tim Kelleher is off the field. We'll just check his replacement.
Well, disappointing news for Timmy Kelleher. He won't be happy about that. Number 19, as I heading onto the football field. I'll confirm it with Steve Cutler, but it looks like Joe Robinson, a former fly half, and actually one of our Optus world man of the match last year. He's in at fullback. The University in good formation take this one towards the Eastwood line. And the pace is picking up. Perkins just driving this team. They go to the backs. They needed to have a short runner there. No short runner. Carl Murray just didn't continue on. They've lost this football. Eastwood have claimed it, and there's space out to the left-hand side, back inside. Hit a little bit high was Miller, and the referee has his arm up. Quick tap taken. Away Eastwood go. Asking the players to roll away as they scream into this one. Eastwood, 5 metres gain. No release of the football, Warwick. A silly move in that position on the field. And certainly Eastwood had the troops there to begin with.
Eastwood found themselves under a lot of pressure from a mistake kick-off.
There's the tackle. It was high. Pryor's come over. He's hit him around the shoulder.
Probably would have got 4 weeks in Super League.
Super what?
That other game. This is the game they play in heaven here at Parramatta Stadium.
And Russell, you made it. The call on fullback is number 19, Ed Carter. It's not Joe Robinson, despite what your eyes are telling you.
Okay. Ed Carter is on. Taking Tim Kelleher's place. University leading the lineouts 3-2. Gee, I think they would have got that one. Make it 4-2 with a bit of luck. Carl Murray into the Eastwood back line. And this will be, well, it's a position.
It's a vicious rucking and an ensuing penalty.
They take the tap. Oh, great tackle. Eddie Carter's been only on a couple of minutes and he's felt the crunch already. Let's take a look at this hit one more time. It was a beauty. Well read. Shoulders in, driven backwards. A solid tackle.
Well, thanks for coming, Ed.
It's a real shoulder tackle. Very, very well done. Head in the right place on the side of the body. Almost a copybook, textbook tackle. Eastwood to feed this one, 10 metres their side of halfway. Beheaver in the middle with the ball. They come to the backs. Cut out pass, well read, University, support inside. No gain, that ball's gone forward. Referee will pull this one up. Ball gone forward, but it was the first time we'd seen Eastwood use their back line. I've got to tell you, they're a bit rusty, a lot of crossfield running. No doubt that will improve as the season progresses. Getting used to each other again. Seeing the field.
Yeah, no doubt they're missing Travis Hall and Nathan Spooner, not to mention the big man at the back.
Oh, they certainly are. Sydney University leads the scrum 5-3. And again, University on the charge.
Oh, and there's a tight head.
Tight head as Steve Cutler has rightly called it. Eastwood, half-back accordingly, goes for a little bit of a scoot. Trips. Alani Pahiba now in possession.
Pahiba, the ever-present setting up play.
Little chip over the top by Wisemantle. Perfect bounce. Oh, perfect bounce. What about that one? That was just superb. The ball was on a string. Nobody in front of him. It was a mere sprint to the line, under the post. That's a definite 7-pointer.
Well, that's every defending winger or fullback's nightmare. The bounce, absolutely perfect.
Yeah, got the old Shane Ward leg spinner there. We see the chip go up. While Anthony Pryor went back, it went to the leg side and he wasn't able to go. That was a great try. Terrific try there. Chris Norton again. He set up the last one and he's gone over under the post for that one. Terrific effort.
There's the kick. Well read by Wisemantle. Not too many people there. It should have been covered up, but it just fell absolutely perfect for them.
Eastwood still with numbers inside there. You see two supporters. They really are getting the hang of this game now, Eastwood. I think we'll see him come away with it in the second quarter.
That's a controversial prediction, Walker.
That one was converted, and Eastwood now very, very comfortable leaders. 17 points, 19 points to 7. Long kickoff, that ball bounced. They'll come back to the halfway.
Back for a scrum. Geez, the Sydney University kicking tonight has been very, very poor.
They really do represent a side that hasn't had a lot of match experience in the off-season. Plenty of fitness, plenty of enthusiasm, but just not enough on the paddock experience, and you can't substitute that.
Yeah, absolutely right. Not a lot of confidence either. Not a lot of confidence in running the ball in the hand.
Cameron Fear from the back of the scrum. Well taken by Kurt Boney. No room to move, and the referee, David Begg, and there's been a shepherd that stage. Let's take a look at it. Gee, not much in it. It didn't prevent the tackle being made. It was well covered by Nick Wilson. Tough call by referee David Begg. I've got to say David Begg received the players' vote as the best referee in the competition last year, so I wouldn't be too upset with that one.
University down the end of the field they want to be. They've just got to show some composure because Eastwood have got it all their own way at the moment.
Yeah, important University consolidate now and get back into the game. They're 12 points behind. They need a try.
19 points to 7. Eastwood leading University as they gain another line out. Ball back inside. Richard War. Again they go to the backs. Carl Murray steps inside one. It gets claimed by the back row. Anthony Thomas. University starting to string some phase ball together.
This is not the sort of ball you want, University. Eastwood just strung out across there. They've got nothing to do. They can't do anything.
Except kick it.
Not much in at that time. Referee will play the advantage. Initially back where the ruck was. Quick tap back to the short side. Barney, doesn't he like to run the football? He's got support, gone to the right side. They come back line. No holes. Close to the ruck. Fourth phase. The back's Carl Murray. Slow ball. Gets met by a mass of Eastwood defenders. Turnover of possession. No fullback at home. Poor kick though. Greg Edwards claims that one, doing his best to stay in field. This one will come out. That's exactly what's happened. This will be an Eastwood feed into this line out. Winger Greg Edwards nowhere to go.
University, they were at the right end of the field, but they couldn't do anything with it. Ball coming out way too slow. There's been something in this game. The ball has been getting out of the back of the rucks and mauls quite quickly, and when it's been slowed up, it's just painfully obvious that they're not doing anything with it except kick, and that's where University find themselves in trouble.
Well, in shot now, Lee Green, the hooker for Eastwood. A little bit of blood. Referee correctly asking that to be cleared before resuming play.
Here it is, here it is.
Green back in to find out if there's a double check on the line-out call. Grice at 2, Dreves at 4. Jeff Reed down the back. Ball goes nowhere. Eastwood have claimed it. Slow ball, but they have numbers out wide. Through one hole. Well, almost a ball in the middle. Gee, bounced perfectly. McGill sent it to Miller. Miller looking for some troops. Two lucky bouncers. Cameron Fear surges onto that one. 15 metres out from University's line. Slow ball. University has a mass of defenders, not committed. They come to the backs. I doubt there's any space through there. It's a matter of claiming the ball, maintaining possession. Eastwood have done that. Ball just sitting there for Sam Cordingley. Not too much space out there. Well tackled. Mark Avery acting as a 5'8", makes the tackle. Sydney University holding on, struggling, but doing a damn fine job holding out Eastwood.
Yeah, great defence there by Sydney University. And Eastwood finally knocking on that ball in the ruck to get some well-needed relief for the Uni boys. They were right at the end of their tether there.
Eastwood backs give them half a yard and they look dangerous. They're getting more and more confidence as the game goes on.
There's 5 minutes left until half-time, the end of the second quarter. Scoreline 19 points to 7 in favour of Eastwood. And again, poor kick, given Eastwood a great attacking opportunity just almost 15 metres out from University's line. Woody's feed, two-handed catch and look for the drive. They're starting to make some inroads.
Important line out for Eastwood. If they can win this, just about see a try ensuing.
6-4 the line-outs favour University. Kalani Pahiva. Oh yeah, good defence. Solid stuff. That ball gets out. The defence is consuming all of the Eastwood attack. Enthusiasm can overcome the best laid plans, and that's exactly what Sydney University are doing.
Super defence from Sydney University. You don't see Harlani Pahiva going backwards too often, but you certainly saw it that time.
Well, I don't think I can remember him going backwards for the whole of 1996. Big hit up front. Jason Riley was the tackler. And Andrew Harding strikes that one, sends it deep into Woody's territory. The penalties now favouring Sydney University. Better than 2-1 over Eastwood. Whilst they may be coughing up possession, they are more disciplined than the University side, than the Eastwood side, I'm sorry.
Let's have it.
Down the back. Claimed by the Woodies. Cameron Fear jumping at number 6. The ball fell right to him. They come to the backs. Long kick from Andrew Wisemantle. There to take it. Ed Carter. Ed beats one tackle. Sydney University slow to regroup.
Well executed, Eastwood. They saw the opportunity to kick deep and it was high enough, and there's nothing wrong with kicking like that if you've got the chasers, as we just saw. Eastwood, plenty of defenders up there, and they've got a real advantage from that kick.
Well, John McKee, just looking at the stats, he's ready to speak to his side at half-time. They're leading 19 points to 7, but I'll bet you he can improve that. Referee pulled that one up. We'll go back 10 metres, University side of halfway.
Wait for the call. Ball away. Ball away. No.
Referee asking them to wait. Accordingly to feed. Good solid scrum. Ball has come out accordingly, has a little bit of a snipe down the short side. Looks to set up for his back row. There's no half-back. They keep taking it round the short side. That time, Nathan Grice.
Good work, University.
Well, Steve Cutler, they're a very committed side.
They certainly are, Russell. They're not playing with a lot of skill, but they're certainly playing with an enormous amount of enthusiasm, the University boys. They've held that ball off the ground. Tremendous scrum there. They've shoved the Eastwood pack back 5 yards, and that takes a bit of doing. Look at this. They've got in low. The front rows worked very well. And despite the fact that Eastwood won the ball, they didn't win it cleanly, and Sam Cordingley, under plenty of pressure there, they eventually, without having the halfback there, had to pick the ball up and drive forward. I think it was Stuart Trees, and he got into trouble.
Tony on the surge, almost to halfway. Mark Challoner next to go. Pryor with a bit of space, comes infield. Young halfback keeps the ball alive, John Menenti. West Harbour recruit. Takes the ball forward. Penalty, quick tap, they go to the back, Sydney University. Long cut-out ball. Ed Carter, he goes through a hole. Oh, just couldn't find Pryor. It was a great piece of play. A try's gone begging. Ed Carter went through the gap, couldn't find the support.
Well, this game is a roller coaster. University, their rides are all too short. As we see, the attack Harding, a long cutout, must have cut out 3 men. Done well, University staying on their feet. Inside ball went begging, just could not execute it.
But super tackle, Scott Stanifer. He's the man we can thank for that one. Absolute gem.
Yes, cleaned up what looked like a try. Gee, holding the ball to Ed Carter, he held it fairly loosely, he pushed it out in front of him. I think it caused Matt Miller to take, well, a little bit of a dummy. Fell for the outside men, put Carter through the hole. We're back to the action. 2 scrums meet. University lead the scrums 7-6. Well, I know Eastwood has taken one tight head.
The scoreline showing 19-7. And that's about the ratio that University have had of good play. They're putting some good phases together, but in spits and spats, very short.
Well, there's the siren for half-time. And away goes Cordingley down the blind side. Chips over the top. Too many University players there. They'll just take this one into touch. Elects to play on. Gee, that's a wild move. Well, that's the end of the first half here at Parramatta Stadium. An impressive first half. Both sides have done enough to get us back for this second half. Scoreline 19 points to 7, favouring Eastwood. We'll take a break and be back with more from Parramatta Stadium real soon.
the most sensational, the most spectacular domestic football competition in the world. In a pay TV exclusive, you'll see a star-studded lineup of Europe's best.
What about that? Brilliant!
Arsenal will come out firing for the Liverpool Reds.
Magnificent strike by the Frenchman.
The English Premier League, live 6:55 Tuesday morning, replay 11 Tuesday night on ESPN.
Sports AFL on Optus Vision shows every AFL game, every club,
Every week.
Is that really enough? Too much footy?
There's no such thing. See all the footy on Sports AFL, but only with your Optus Vision.
It's rugby played in the fast lane. From Hong Kong, exclusively live, the Rugby World Sevens. Live in progress on ESPN.
Welcome back to Parramatta Stadium for the kick-off to the Hahn Cup for 1997. First match underway, Sydney University taking on Eastwood. The scoreline favours Eastwood 19 points to 7. 3 tries in that first half to the Woodies, just 1 to Sydney University. But nonetheless, it's been a very, very entertaining game. Some big tackles, and you can see Warwick War that both of these sides are just getting the field. We take a look at the scorelines. Pryor 1, Staniforth, Miller and Norton tries for Eastwood. Tim Kelleher 1 from 2. Wisemantle, he's kicked 1 conversion and a penalty goal. Great night here at the stadium. The moon in its very best. Out to watch the rugby. It's a much closer view when it's, as I said, the game that's played in heaven. Nice long shot here. The stadium, you can see a crowd starting to build. We go into the huddle for Sydney University. Bill Eddy and Warwick War, I bet he's saying to them, hold the ball, hold the ball.
One of the telling statistics at half-time was the ruck ball count, or the turnover count, I should say. University have turned over 10 in possession to Eastwood's 3. And you can't do that at this level. University have got to control. They've got the enthusiasm, they've got the fitness and the speed. They just need to hold on to that ball to convert it into points.
John Manenti in shot now, joined from West Harbour, 1997. He's skipper for this particular match. Staying very coolly, and his players know what he wants. As we take a look at the match statistics, the scoreline as we expected, Warwick's already given us. The penalties 10-3 in favour of Sydney University. Scrums also get their way, line-outs their way, and Warwick, you couldn't believe that rucks and maul statistics, so very, very close.
Very close to rucks and mauls. That shows that both teams have had a fair bit of possession, but the telling factor is the 10-3 turnovers. Eastwood have done something with it. University very close to doing something with it, but they keep kicking it back down the throat of Eastwood, and Eastwood turn it into points. They love broken play, especially with players like Miller.
Yes, it's a very big margin. The difference in the turnover, 7 the difference. As we're looking at John McKee talking to his troops from last year, I guess it might be a little bit difficult for him to get them up after their performance. It's so early in the season with a game that probably doesn't have a great deal of pull for it, other than that there's plenty of cash to the winning club in the Hahn Cup. As we get ready to restart play, referee for the first fixture is David Begg. And for my money, he's done a pretty good job up to date.
Something really impressed me last year about Eastwood was their totally professional attitude, both on and off the field. But on the field, they just were composed under pressure in attack, in defence. They really studied their opposition and they played them at their strengths. And took them on there. Paiva, one of the real instigators of that.
As we're ready to restart play, Eastwood lead Sydney University 19 points to 7 as we get ready for the second half here at Parramatta Stadium. A ball underway. Andrew Harding drives it down almost to the 22. Eastwood maintain possession. They come out to Wisemantle. Not much space. Goes centre field, which will become a regular play. in the Hahn Cup. Pryor dribbles it through. Well tackled. Took the man with the ball. Accordingly gets caught in tight. Travis Norton on the field now as he sends a long ball out. Number 3, Aaron Spooner gets them going. Norton with the ball back inside. University finally there, stem the flow. Richie Waugh comes up with the ball. University relying on their forwards, their well-drilled forwards to take them forward. Come to the backs. High ball. Well tackled, both accounts. Great take. It comes out to the open side. And the player was within 10 metres of the man receiving the kick. You must be behind the player of the ball. You cannot advance the ball or towards the ball either. Ball must at least travel 10 metres before you get back into the play. We come right back down. Just on the 37 metres out from the Woodies line. University feed. Come to the backs. Pryor in. Decoy back inside. Pryor on the outside. Worked pretty well. Got them over the game line. Not much space out here. Turn the ball back inside. This time Carl Murray gets taken. The referee has found an indiscretion. Eastwood playing the ball whilst on the knee. The referee.
Ever doing a great job here. He's read the play well. Big hit, but he's just pushed to the ref a little bit too far, playing the ball, and he's on the wrong side, not on his feet, very close.
Not close at all, right? That's a definite
little bit high.
Yeah, that's a penalty. Down his knees. There it is. You can see that knee on the ground. Steve Cutler, while I've got you there, we take the shot at goal. What's the message from the two huddles at half time?
Well, Johnny McKee from the Woodies camp, very, very happy, very pleased with the way the team's playing. He wants a little more the forwards to go over and get the ball out wide, so we could see plenty of sparkle from the Eastwood backs in the second half. On the other hand, Bill Eddy from the Uni camp, not so happy. Wants more talk, more communication between the forwards. He wants the ball in behind the Eastwood forwards so he can get the Uni forwards going forward.
Andrew Harding strikes it. Not one of his better kicks. Wide of the post. 19 points to 7. Eastwood still in the lead. Oh, super solid run. Gregory Edwards still going. Leaks up Nick Perkins. Gee, that knee looks pretty good now, Nick. Down the short side, Boney. He needs a bit of help there. He doesn't have much. As Eastwood try to keep them out. He needs some help, does Andrew Harding. Not much space there. That ball's gone forward. The Woodies have been saved. Travis Hall. Well, Jason really hanging in an offside position. Out with the centres.
Great play, University. Edwards, Greg Edwards, great run back. The kick, as we say with the new rules, can't go out on the full, so everyone's playing a little bit conservative. Edwards taking full advantage of a straight run, and here we see him taking the ball again.
The recruit from West Harbour, one of 3 that have joined Sydney University, looks to make some space out wide. They had numbers, just couldn't move the ball quick enough. Ben Miller that time. We see Pryor over the far side.
Great cleaning out from Sydney University.
Ball will come. And that's a penalty. That'll be a bit of a high shot, I think, by Kurt Boney.
And frustration there, I think, from Kurt Boney after Lee Green. Appeared to be a little offside in that ruck.
Appeared to be a little offside. He's come from nowhere.
He's a quick man.
Oh, very quick man. Lee Green always wanted to play half-back. As we take another look. Just hovering there. The ball's out. Yeah, completely offside. The penalty should have gone the other way to begin with. But nonetheless, we're about 38 metres out from Sydney University line. No change to the score line in this third quarter. Still 19 points to 7. Eastwood in the lead.
That penalty count favouring Sydney University 12-5.
The big difference is they come round, short passing. Ball falls for University. Oh, great piece of play that time. University is through. Can't find the mark. Greg Edwards, one of their better runners, just can't get the ball in his hand. They'll be unhappy for them. The ball wasn't that great from Kieran Shepherd, but you can see that there is some style, there is some keenness in this University outfit. Just a matter of spending some time and some hours on the field. We'll see a much better performance in the University side, 1997.
University very keen to run the ball this year.
Shepherd again, offloads. Ball doesn't fall quite just the way they wanted. Referee has seen a knock on. Trying to reclaim possession on the ground. This will be scrum right on halfway. Young Travis Hall, the regular halfback for Eastwood, is now on the field, and he will feed this scrum.
This game being played at a lot of pace. I think that's the new ruling. The ball cannot be kicked out on the full. Players underplaying that rule, and the sanctuary of the lineouts.
10-6, Sydney University over Eastwood in the scrums. Scoreline no favours. Eastwood 19 points to 7. Matt Miller on an inside ball, comes off his shoulder. University quick to clean up, take it over halfway.
Never got the advantage line, so we'll play the third.
Well, you may have heard the referee. No advantage, will play the original knock-on, or the first knock-on. That was off Matt Miller, coming in off the shoulder.
Wait for his side, wait for his side. Wait for his side.
Sydney a little fortunate here. Matt Miller knocking on. The ball going to the University player. They're not being able to capitalise. The referee taking it back for a uni scrum.
Boney again. Ball turned back inside.
Straight over, straight over.
The referee felt that University couldn't move that ball forward because Eastwood was straight over on top of the ball. No hesitation in giving a penalty. Andrew Harding now comes up, takes a tap. They decide to run it.
I think he was the only one who knew that.
Yeah, I think you're right, Steve Cutler. There was no masses of forwards where they should have had. They come to the backs. Boney back inside again. Tackling practice for the midfield for Eastwood. Little short ball. Great hands. Great piece of hands. Pryor. They're looking for the winger out here, but they can't find it. Here was a marked man, Greg Edwards. The University have claimed that one. They're about 15 metres out. They'll come back to the open side. Kicks over the top. No fullback at home. Taken out of play. Referee hasn't seen it. Grice with the ball in hand. Had two unmarked men. Should have offloaded. No call from the outside then. And then wouldn't release the football. Gee, this is a comedy of errors.
Now a second row could get white line fever from inside his 22. I'll never know.
What do you mean? You get it all the time.
These second rowers, these locks can't pass the ball.
It wasn't a great kick from Harding, but Nathan Grimes picked up the ball, saw the line, went for a scoot, a little bit of a dummy there, pulled down very well by the University man, but then couldn't put the ball back, and well, penalty in front of the post, and now remains Sydney University having a shot at goal. The 2 points they believe is going to get it back in the game.
19 points to 7, Sydney University leading. Sydney University, trailing, I'm sorry, Sydney University leading the penalties though, 14-5, almost 3-1 as he strikes this one.
And also the rucks and balls, Russell, 36-31, much more even, but Sydney University had plenty of possession in this game.
Andrew Harding now has missed with 2 attempts at goal, 2 attempts at penalty goal.
Sydney Uni not being able to finish off out wide. At the same time, Eastwood seem to have a lot of defence everywhere. They're very well drilled.
Gee, nice piece of play. Sharp movement then by Andrew Wisemantle. Gee, there couldn't have been much in this. Just over the line. Lee Green was going for a scoot. Kick it long this time. Greg Edwards. Ball in the air. Goes through. Attempts to take it. Well taken by one of the big men. There's Nathan Grice. Will he release? Yes. The ball comes out. Fahiva taking on Andrew Harding. Up the middle. Testing the midfield defence. Come the short side. Oh, high shot.
That's got to go, I'd say.
Kurt Boney. Big tackle.
Yeah, we don't need the linesman. I think the referee's seen that.
Linesman in.
Only a little bit too enthusiastic. We saw him involved in an earlier one, but I think this will cost him dearly.
Yeah, I think he's gone.
Well, I'll be surprised if he's gone, to be quite honest. No.
Well, better be surprised, Russell.
Well, I am. If you could see my face now, I am very surprised. 14 plays 15 now. University have lost. Kurt Boney sent for a high tackle on halfback Travis Hall.
Yeah, bad luck for University. I don't think there was any particular malice in it, but it was high, and I think he did deserve to go.
Just a little bit over enthusiastic.
Makes the University's task all that much harder. If we take a look at the incident, oh gee, the arm was cocked, wasn't it? It was a closed fist. I wouldn't like to see that one in slow motion. Ooh.
Travis Hall's been copying a couple of those for the semi-final last year against Randwick, Rocker, wasn't it?
Yes, yes. And that time as well, we saw a player sent from the field. The University returning possession. Again, drives a long left foot kick. Not a bad looking kick deep into Eastwood's territory. He puts that one out in the full, they'll come right back. And that's exactly what they'll do.
This new rule really has opened up the game.
Yeah, you can certainly see that in the number of line-outs that have been tonight. There've only been a dozen or so line-outs, and that's probably good for the game as well, although I used to enjoy them.
Warwick doesn't mind a line-out himself, but they are needed. There's no doubt about that. Again, it doesn't take any pressure away from the line-outs. Imagine the Eastwood two in there now. They've got to win this one, so the pressure's still very much there in these line-outs. Only we're seeing a fair few less. Perkins claims that one. Great piece of play, Perkins. Short pass to Pryor, almost through the hole. The gate was open, slammed shut in his face. There's space on the left-hand side, but it won't come.
There's a blind side, but the ball too slow to come out.
This time it comes. University just 5 metres out, awaiting this football. Menenti, John with the ball. Forwards driving forward, and then the Eastwood pack send him reeling. The pressure is still mounting and is still on. They continue to move this football. Sydney University in control. John Menenti in the middle there somewhere. Come out, Ed Carter, the left-hand side. Carter runs into a brick wall. Must be close. Who could it be? They come to the backs again. Oh, Kieran Shepherd. Carl Murray, I apologise, nowhere to go. Runs into his forwards. That ball's been knocked forward. And while we gave Sydney University a rap for their defence, take nothing away from Eastwood, just as good.
Yeah, terrific defence from Eastwood. And Andrew Hardy getting in the way of Carl Murray there, a little bit comical. The University backs really haven't fired tonight. Andrew Harding there getting in the way. I think he's well too far behind the advantage for him.
I'll be fairly frustrated, University, because they've done some fine things up front.
Yeah, they have done well up front. The forwards have played very well tonight, but they're not playing as a unit. They're not playing with confidence.
Ball in. Coming out. Travis Hall puts the ball under his arm, has a little run himself, makes plenty of room. Has he got the pace to get there? Greg Edwards chasing. He's looking back inside Miller. A bit of dazzle. Great tackle and great support. Well, this is what football's all about. Perkins back there as well, moving the ball forward. This will be a penalty for Sydney University. Eastwood just, their keenness got in the road there, but you've got to give both the sides a rap. Some great attack. Travis Hall got them going. Good support by Miller, and the defence, the guys turning around from Sydney University getting back there. Fantastic. Travis Hall put the ears back. Just didn't have the pace to get there. Turns the ball back inside to Miller, who should be waiting there, Ed Carter. Number 7 that time, Anthony Thomas still in the play. As we see number 16, Ben Miller, take the intercept to really put an end to that attacking raid. Back down now, 10 metres, Eastwood side of halfway. University feed, Menenti to feed.
Yeah, good win against the throw.
Yeah, great win right in front of you, Steve Cutler.
Yeah, super win by the Eastwood boys. They're playing well.
A driving kick along the ground.
I tell you what, this Eastwood team takes on another dimension when Travis Hall gets on the field. He is one very, very good player.
Well, the combination between himself and Nathan Spooner, very, very important as we take a look at this kick. Wasn't a great kick, but Wisemantle, with plenty of time, drills it off the right foot, spiralling down almost to the 22. Well, yes, inside the 22. Puts them just on about 17 metres out from the university line, and a great attacking opportunity. They'll put a scrum down now. University ball. The Woodies have taken one tight head. You can bet there'll be a call for shove here, Warwick War.
University under a bit of pressure, but their scrums seem to be the goods tonight. Bar the tight head.
Harding drives it. Miller toys with it. Dummies to kick. Finds Scott Wisemantle inside. Says, you take the tackle, Wisemantle, not for me. Well, playing the ball in the ruck. It will be a penalty to Sydney University, and they have really skipped ahead in the penalty count. That is what's keeping them in the game. 3 minutes left in this third quarter. Eastwood leading 19 points to 7.
With the loss of Tim Kelleher, you get the feeling that University, if he hadn't have gone off, might have been a very, very closer game.
Yeah, I agree with you, Warwick. Tim Keller is certainly a real rock and Gibraltar at the back to this uni side. They haven't got the experience or the hard head without him.
And they need someone who can put those valuable 3 points over as well.
John Manenti set to feed. Oh, Mark Avery
could have been a bit straighter.
Well, he caught it round his stomach section, so he didn't have to climb too high. Sydney University driving. Continue to drive this one. At ramming speed now, Sydney University. And this will be a penalty, playing the ball in the ruck.
Another penalty for University.
Quick tap taken, Manenti takes it forward. University still continues to push towards the try line. Another penalty, Sydney University. Quick tap taken again. Ben Miller.
Chalmers over.
Can't get over, can't force the ball. Referee deemed to be held up. They'll have a 5-metre scrum.
There's plenty of admiration for these uni forwards. They're down to 7 men with Kurt Bonney off the field as we see the number 8 take it up. He almost got there. He just turned his body the wrong way as he went over the line, and great work there by the number 18 from Eastwood.
University caught between a rock and a hard place. They haven't got a kicker to put over those goals tonight, so they're almost forced to take the quick tap.
And of course the other problem is those goals are only worth 2 points tonight with the Hahn Cup rules, so they need a couple of tries.
Still time to get the job done. As Miller awaits the feed, scrum to turn past the 180. As we get set again, well, very tight there. Eastwood does have some advantage in the pack Warwick War, but is that enough?
Not against a well-drilled side like University, and there's one thing that has been good tonight. Their scrums and their lineouts have certainly held their own.
Well, they've done plenty of work, because that was one of their weaker areas in '96. And they've certainly set about changing it for the better. Tonight's performance is any indication.
Manetti certainly an improvement there. The hooker, with a good hooker, you can certainly set the foundation for a good scrum, and he is just that.
Well, he left West Harbour because he wanted to play hooker and was spending time as a prop. A chance to play hooker, he's arrived. Gregory through the hole, nice little short ball. The man I've been calling Andrew Harding is really... Richie Waugh sends a little short ball off the shoulder, and a great piece of play. Greg Evans gets over it, pretty close to the uprights, fair kicking distance, and what a good time to score right on the bell. Three-quarter time.
Super try for Sydney University, and as you say, Russell, just what the doctor ordered as three-quarter time blows.
19 points to 12, Eastwood lead with a kick to come.
You get the feeling it was only a matter of time. The penalties and the scrums to Uni's advantage. In the replay, Gregory Edwards, just a very well executed move. Harding, great hands to pop that inside ball from a different angle. Harding takes this ball, got a little bit of time, pops that short ball that he's so good at, and Edwards doing what he does best, running the ball.
Yeah, well deserved for Greg Edwards. He's had a big game tonight, Greg Edwards. Played very, very well for this Uni side.
Every time he's run the ball, Greg Edwards has looked dangerous, but a few times there he's kicked and it's been to no avail.
And that try, unconverted, Sydney University still trail 14 points to 9 here at Parramatta Stadium. We'll take a break and be back real soon.
The Ansett Cup. Just 2 teams remain and will fight it out to have their name engraved on the pre-season Holy Grail. Geelong battle Carlton in the climax to what's been an action-packed pre-season. Now bring on the 97 Coca-Cola AFL Premiership. The Ansett Cup Grand Final, prime time 5:45 Saturday on Sports AFL. From the resources of the world's biggest sporting network.
And the Heat have held on.
Together with the strength of the Australian pay TV channel that brings you more. The news service that draws on Optus Vision's exclusive coverage of all major world sports.
And in the back of the net.
International Sports Centre, bringing you all the up-to-the-minute results and breaking stories.
That was a heck of a catch.
International Sports Centre, nightly on Sports Australia.
He rattled the back of the net.
From the Championship Dutch Football League comes the clash between AZ Alkmaar and Feyenoord. Live 5 Monday morning, replay 9 Tuesday night on ESPN.
Making in the NBA, you need offense.
Gary Payton lead pass, Temple,
You've got to play defense.
Kemp inside, blocked by Elijah.
And you need teamwork.
Great penetration by Smith, dropping it off.
But most of all, you need vision.
You're watching Sports Australia.
Three-quarter time here at Parramatta Stadium. Eastwood leading Sydney University 19 points to 12. Get that right. Missed that conversion attempt just before three-quarter time. So 19-12, the Woodies in the lead. But this is a very close one, and Sydney University in that third quarter war have been a much better team, a much more dominant team, a team prepared to take some chances.
Look like a very fit side, Sydney University. What they're lacking in match experience, they're making up for in just raw fitness, and they've stuck at it. Okay, they've had a lot of penalties, but at the same time, they've managed to keep their heads and finally get some results, as we saw just before three-quarter time.
Just about ready to restart the game. Richie Waugh to kick off. Now I think calling Andrew Harding. Unfortunately, they've given us the wrong numbers.
Mrs. Waugh wants a word with you, Russell.
Thank you very much, Steve Cutler. 19 points to 12. Eastwood leading Sydney University as we kick off for the fourth quarter. First touch of the ball this time. Anthony Peterson gets tackled at 24 metres out. Dribbles this one through. Edwards there with plenty of time. Taken by Matt Miller. They will maintain possession. Nowhere to go for Ben Miller. They are not related, Ben Miller or Matt Miller. Playing for opposite teams, Menenti acting half. Carl Murray.
The linesman with the flag out here on the sideline.
Eastwood ball. McGill can't find the mark. Chris Norton, who had half a chance. The ball didn't find the mark though.
And the linesman on this side's got his flag and he's had it out for the last couple of minutes. The referee hasn't seen it, but he's spotted it now.
Steve Cutler, have you seen it?
I didn't see what happened, Russell, but I suspect it's foul play involving that tackle on Edwards.
Well, he's having a chat to referee David Begg. He's calling out Sydney University's Anthony Pryor. Well, he's talking to him, but he'll play the ball from where it is.
Good referee, David Begg.
A minor infringement. Begg would like to gain the flow. So we're back to business. Scrum 25 metres out from Sydney University's line. Sydney University feed. On past the 180. Scrum to be repacked. Crunch, plenty of that this year. Now rugby coverage, both in the Hahn Cup and the Amy Cup.
And the Eastwood boys put the pressure on.
The Amy Cup and Hahn Cup. We'll do the full Hahn Cup all the way through to the grand final at Coogee Oval, and then we'll bring you the Amy Cup every Saturday live from venues throughout the Sydney metropolitan area.
In order for Uni to maintain their strength in the scrum, they're going to have to use every ounce of their enthusiasm and fitness. Eastwood's experience, time to tell.
Well read Travis Hall, but you cannot tackle the player when he's in the air. Kieran Shepherd. Let's take a look at this one. Gee, could have caused a few problems here. Shepherd runs through, up he goes. Well,
he looks like he's tried to duck out of it, but too little, too late.
Yeah, you've got to just move right away from players like that. Take another look at it. Well, he was going to land on his head.
Yeah.
Gee, disappointment for Travis Hall. First game of the season, 2 heavy knocks.
Certainly been in the wars, old Travis, last couple of games of rugby he's played.
There must have been a fairly fiery pre-match speech from Bill Eddy, coach of Sydney University.
It certainly was, Russell. The half-time break for the University boys was full of enthusiasm. They're down to 14 men with Kurt Botting off, but they were really firing, ready to go. They're looking forward to this last 20 minutes. They're certainly fit. There's nothing you can say about that. They're very, very fit at the moment, looking forward to this last 20. Eastwood, on the other hand, John McKee was somewhat concerned and not very happy about the way they were turning the ball over. Wanted to get the basics right and get those short passes within the forwards.
Well, if this one goes over, it will make it very difficult for Sydney University. The difference now, just a converted try. Sydney University will have to score twice. Scoreline 19 points to 12 in favour of Eastwood. As we see Travis Hall, undoubtedly one of their better players, leave the field. Saw back.
Real blow for Uni. Travis Hall looked great on the field, and he really did lift that Eastwood side's attack.
Slotted that one over, and that's almost put it beyond reach of Sydney University. The difference now, 9 points, 21 points to 12, favouring Eastwood over Sydney University.
Still 16 minutes to go. University still in with a big chance.
Just a word on Travis Hall. Looks like the physio working on his back over here on the sideline, but he should be all right.
19 points. Well, that conversion then, or that penalty goal, has made it 21 points to 12. Eastwood leading Sydney University, and we've got just on, as Warwick War said, 15 minutes left on the clock. Enough time, but it will take the superhuman effort from Sydney University down to 14 men. Kurt Boney said from the field. We take a look at Travis Hall there.
And I tell you what, the trainers have got a hell of a lot better looking than when I was playing.
Well, Steve,
maybe you've got older, Steve.
May I say that the players have got a hell of a lot better looking since you've played as well. But beside the point, let's get back to the game. Sydney University inside Eastwood's 35-metre mark. The Eastwood feed in this scrum as they march it slowly forward.
Eastwood learned a lesson last year against Rowing. 14 men. Playing a team 14 men down. They won't fall for it again.
Matt Miller through on this kick. Ed Carter can't beat Miller, turns inside. Great run. Edwards, he's been one of the finds for Sydney University tonight. Excellent play. As they go out to the back line, puts a kick over. But waiting back there, Jonathan McGill. And they'll come back for a penalty. Richie Waugh had no option but to put the kick over when there was a mass of Eastwood players inside or over that offside line.
I tell you what, Sydney Uni very, very lucky a penalty was given there because the Eastwood fullback was really on the fly.
Yeah, John McGill.
Extremely well read.
Won't be happy with that kick, Richie Waugh. And Nancy back in to find out. Perkins held when jumping. And this will be a penalty appeal for it.
Yeah, the old Sir call went up there. That's the old good one, isn't it?
Sir, help me out, sir. Well, just quite misses. They come around. Tackle on the shoulder. Ball in the touch inside Eastwood's 22. 9 points the difference between the two sides. 21-12 Eastwood over Uni.
And University find themselves in the same position just before as they did it just before three-quarter time. Great attacking opportunity. They've got the line-out throw.
Well, University lead the line-outs 10-8, and you'd like to think they could play some more, but Stewie Drew's up there, just floating.
It's a super jump, but they've lost the ball, Eastwood.
It's been stolen. Back inside, Carl Murray. Doesn't mind running into traffic. Carl Murray. Ball out. They go to the backs again. Back inside one more time. Again, Carl Murray. Edwards in support. Stopped 10 metres from the line. Forwards take it through. University continue to attack. Long cut-out ball. Just can't quite find the money. It's been a knock forward. Referee will play on. He'll bring it back. Eastwood's ball. They certainly made space and numbers that time. The pass just couldn't find the mark.
Harding throws the long ball. Quick hands. We just see the ball get dropped. University, they're lost in that third and fourth phase play.
Eastwood. High ball down the short side for Miller. Forward for Carter. Steps back inside, taken. Sam Cordingley, this will come back. Slow to regroup though, University. Fryer in there, by half. Come over the man. This will be a penalty.
Silly penalty, Eastwood.
Very surprising, undisciplined play from Eastwood. Despite the penalty count, Eastwood prided themselves on their professionalism last year, and tonight they've given away a lot of penalties that are just unnecessary.
Well, a shot at goal, not a bad idea. They need to get within a converted try, and that will do it. Number 19 at this stage looks like Ed Carter, who came on for Tim Kelleher, will take this shot at goal. Penalties favouring Eastwood, 3-1 on the knocker. Something for John McCoo to work out at training next Tuesday and Thursday night up there at TG Milner. He won't be happy with the penalties.
University, they've got their first 2 or 3 phases very well drilled, and they're doing a great job maintaining control in the forwards, but when they start swinging the ball wide in the backs. They're all at sea. Full credit to Eastwood defence though.
Well, that one's been flagged away. Ed Carter not having any luck as well. Quick kick. Ball comes forward now. Carter again. Runs into Truce. Uses a strong fend. Turns the ball back inside. There's Edwards again. You'll see his name in the try scorers list a bit this year. They come wide. Steps back inside. Can he go all the way? Almost inside the 22. University continue to attack. Cut-out ball is on. He doesn't need the cut-out ball. Richie Wall in the corner. Oh, great piece of play. It had to come. University just kept the pressure on. Pressure, pressure, pressure. They are starting to put their game together, and there's no doubt about it. Their coach, Billy Eddy, will be happy about that.
Yeah, it was a super bit of play by University, and Richie Ward just saw a gap, pinned his ears back, and in he went. There was no way anybody was going to stop him there. That's a great try. And I tell you what, no disrespect to Kurt Bonney, but University have played super well since he's been off. But down to 14 men, and they really got this Eastwood side rattled.
Well, Richie Ward taking the ball to the line. Put the opposition in two minds. Once he gets there, stays nice and low, and gets over for the try. The Rastafarian look, but he certainly can play football.
All night we've seen pop that inside ball back inside, or the short pop to the outside runner running straight. That time he just threw the dummy, went straight through.
If Sydney University ever needed a conversion, now's the time to do it. 21 points to 17 with the kick to come. Not a bad looking kick. Not the distance and not the accuracy, but this is very much a ball game. We still have 8:30 on the clock, 8 minutes 30 on the clock. Eastwood leading Sydney University 21 points to 17.
And I think Eastwood thought that the second two quarters of this game were going to be a bit of a cakewalk when they went to about a 12-point lead. It certainly hasn't been that way. Uni have stormed back into it.
Well, Travis Hall not yet back on the field, still having problems with that back of his.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see much more of Travis tonight.
Ready to restart play, Andrew Wisemantle. Gets the kick away. Up they go, Michael Boucher. Well taken. Maintains possession.
Challoner has a run.
Challoner up the middle. Sydney University there.
That's the ball I want.
Richie Wall.
Well, that's not.
Wasting possession. Back to the tactics in the first quarter. They need to keep ball in hand. They've just shown that they can run the football. Why kick the ball away?
Yeah, it's been a bit of a Jekyll and Hyde performance by Richie Wall tonight. Done some very, very good things, but gee, kicked away far too much possession.
Lee Green, ball in hand. Great attacking opportunity for Eastwood. They go to Stuart Drews, one hand. At the back though, Mark Challoner. University have taken this ball. Driving in, John Manenti gets over the game line. Stuart Drews played it on the ground. And another penalty, yet another penalty to Sydney University.
Harding with a little more time. War with a little more time this kick.
Strikes that one much better. Yeah, good kick, real good kick, almost inside the 22. Now can we see University stand up? Who will they go to? Will they go to Mark Avery, number 2, Nick Perkins at number 4? Perkins has been pretty spot on with his jumping today, or this evening. Missed all of last year and the year before just about with a knee reconstruction. Credit to his attitude and perseverance to come back and play so well. Avery at the front, two hands, and they drive. Inside the 22 without much trouble. Good position, ball at the back. They go to ground. Referee has his hand up.
They won't want the penalty. They need 5 points at least.
They'll go again. They'll go to the sideline, or will they take the scrum, or will they take the tap? I'll be surprised if John Manenti, shrewd thinking, hooker and captain, will go to the sideline and take a tap.
Pin bin.
In they go, not far now. Penalty though, playing the ball on the ground. That's disappointing because it was Sydney Unity's opportunity then to go close to getting a try and levelling up this game.
And Lee Green for Eastwood in this tin bin for 10 minutes, so 14 men apiece.
Well, as we see there, the replay, the referee points to one of the players committing a foul on the other side of the ruck. Playing the ball on the ground is the most likely scenario, and he has struck that one superbly. That is a real pressure reliever. Just on 50-odd metres, puts the 10 metres University side of halfway. As we see an injured player for Eastwood. The game will go on. 4:50 left on the clock. 4 minutes 50.
Well, you wonder whether the 14-man situation will have the same result with Eastwood picking up their game.
Dreeds well taken. Up the centre they go. They turn it back inside. Forwards with the ball in their hand making runs. This is the sort of football they want to see in the Hahn Cup. Lani Fahiva ready to go. Stewie Dreeds calms him down. We see Lee Green there. Was it Aaron Spooner? It's Aaron Spooner. Reeling from a twisted ankle.
It's great to see there. The opportunity to go for the shot for that penalty. Eastwood opting for the line out. Maybe a result of the 2-point penalty goal now rather than 3 in the Hahn Cup.
Well, back to the injured player, Aaron Spooner.
Aaron Spooner in plenty of pain. Looks like an ankle or a lower leg injury. Plenty of attention being applied to him by the Eastwood trainers.
Well, 2 players down for Eastwood. One at the very other end of the field. Getting back into play, that's Nathan Grice.
You can't keep these second rowers down for long.
Certainly doesn't. Teammate looks like he's doing it real tough as we take another quick look at how it happened.
Yeah, it looks like he just got his right leg twisted as he went down there, and it seems that ankle or lower part of his shin had the ball taken off him there by Mark Avery, but Aaron, well, back on his feet, and he's going to tough it out.
Yeah, the extra weight, I think, as he went down, a little bit of a twist, but I think it was twice his body weight on that ankle in an unstable position, which caused the problem. Not long to go now. We'll get the ice on it very, very soon.
The other rule come in this year is any players in the forwards not involved in the line have to stay inside the 15, back 10, till the line out leaves the mark.
Right on the 22, Sydney University continue to push forward. They go to the backs, cut out ball. Bit of a hole there, yes. Referee right there, brings it back. Unlucky, that would have been a real tester. It's the man with the ball in his hand. Greg Edwards has had a fine day with the ball. Let's take a look at it. Kieran Shepherd.
Wonderful turn of pace there, and he gets the ball away to Eds. Gee, it was close.
Yeah, real close.
If he was playing for Randwick, that would have been all right.
Now, Steve Cutler, not that this early in the season, please.
And I tell you what, the boys starting to feel a pinch at the moment. This has been a very, very quick game for the first game of the season, the Hahn Cup. These new rules without the line out. You see Bill Eddy there as he watches his charges. He must be a happy man tonight seeing this University team come back from 12 points behind at one stage to make it a real game of this.
Yeah, I think you're right there, Steve Cutler. He'd be fairly happy considering they were the cellar dwellers last year. He'd be pleased with their performance so far. A lot to work with this year, a lot more than in previous years. We see Coyley go from the scrum base. Plenty of Eastwood troops there. They will get this football. There's no doubt about that. Takes it round the front, Lou Jenkins. First time we've seen Lou with the ball in his hand. From a Riverview player, they go to the backs. Double cut. Doesn't fall right for Scott Staniforth. Knock forward, the referee will bring it back and put a scrum down just on 32 metres out of the University line.
Well, University, it's gone 2.5 minutes to go. This is their last bite of the cherry. Still with a chance.
Out to University. They go to the back line. Trouble. Eastwood control the ball. Referee has found an indiscretion. 22 metres out from University's line. Just on 1:51 left on the clock. Just 4 points the difference between the two sides. Eastwood feed it. Sam Cordingley, the halfback. Ball waiting at the side there. They'll come back and they'll reset that one.
Well, despite looking like they won't win this game, either way, University, Bill Eddy would have to be very happy with his team's performance.
Down the short side they go from that scrum. Back row working. The back row move's not working. Nathan Grice slips away. They go to the back. Salami Pahiva can't get through the tackle of Richie Wall. They come back almost in front of the post. Man straight over the ball carrier on the ground. Referee, no hesitation, blowing the whistle. And this is almost a give me 2 points for Eastwood.
Pahiva taking it up like he always does. Ball just losing control there. I think the penalty was given way before that.
It came back to the previous one. The referee had his hand out. He's playing the advantage. As we see Andrew Wisemantle step up to this kick. That's not a bad job today, Wisemantle. Kicked to 2 penalty goals and 1 conversion. This one, a real simple attempt. And I would suggest this would put the match almost beyond reach of Sydney University. Well, definitely, the siren will sound just as he takes this kick. So a fairly comprehensive victory after all to Eastwood, even though the scoreline might not suggest it. Strikes it as straight as you like. That's it. 23 points to 17. Eastwood up over Sydney University. Not a bad match in the first game of the season. Warwick War, your thoughts on that match? I guess the guys, there'll be plenty of puffing out there.
I certainly feel that. It's a great idea. The Hahn Cup being played under lights at night. It's a lot better conditions than the old days of 40 degrees heat. But the players still feel at University, great effort tonight, great fitness. But you just get the feeling Eastwood got over them as predicted, with a little bit of experience from last year's, a lot of composure.
Oh, thank you, Warwick War. You're already giving yourself a rap. You picked the first winner. You didn't have to be Einstein to do that. You knew Sydney University were going to do it a bit tough, but I was very pleasantly surprised by their performance. They will be a lot better than they were in 1996, let me tell you. For the Eastwood side, some fairly strong performers, there's no doubt about that. Just repeating that scoreline, 23 points to 17. Eastwood up over Sydney University in the opening of the Hahn Cup, and down on the sideline we have Steve Cutler with one of the stars.
Thanks, Russell. Yeah, I'm here with the Eastwood man of the match, second rower, Stuart Trees. Stuart, tough one tonight to start with.
Yeah, very tough. We know that Uni start the season well. We played them last year in the first round and they nearly knocked us off. They're a good side. They've got a few new acquisitions and they're pretty tough in the forwards. I know that.
And how are you finding the new Hahn Cup rules with the not so many lineouts?
Yeah, as a second rower, I don't like them that much because second row you get lineouts, you get your breath back, and as a jumper, the more lineouts the better.
Big year for Eastwood. You had a terrific year last year, getting to the final of the Amy Cup, and you're starting this year on the same sort of foot.
Yeah, well, we've got a lot of guys out, but we've got a lot of depth at the club, and we're hoping we can just keep going. And when we're back at full strength, give it a shot this year.
And you're looking forward to getting your representative players back. I mean, Matthew Burke and the boys at fullback.
I don't know how many games Burke's going to play, but we've got a lot of depth, and but there's not much loss with the guys we've got out there anyway.
Were you surprised with the University comeback tonight?
Yeah, well, I thought after at half-time we would have run away with it, but to their credit, they came back very strongly in the forwards. Real tough game.
Congratulations, Stuart. I'll let you go and join the warm down.
Thanks a lot.
Back to you, Russell.
Yeah, thanks, Cuts. One of the stars for Eastwood, Stewie Drews, second rower, or lock as they're called in today's game. Fantastic performance. Now, just repeating that scoreline, Eastwood have taken the opening match in the Hahn Cup, 23 points to 17. 3 tries apiece, though, Sydney University and Eastwood. A great match for our opening game. We'll have more rugby coming your way in just a moment. Don't go away.
This weekend, live ARL action on Sports Australia.
Puts the foot down.
Beautiful stuff in the final second. Oh, he scored!
Live Saturday, the Parramatta Eels clash with the undefeated Sydney City Roosters. Then live Sunday, Souths take on West in a take-no-prisoners encounter.
Oh!
ARL Rugby League live in the Optus Cup. Saturday from 5, Sunday from 1:30 on Sports Australia.
Hey, man, where you going? Oh, mate, I've got to get home in time to watch Checkered Flag.
What a run! Oh, no! Well, can you believe that?
Checkered Flag, the essence of speed. Wednesday, 10:30 on Channel 12.
Making in the NBA, you need offense.
Gary Payton lead pass, Temple goal!
You've got to play defense.
Kept inside, blocked by Elijah.
And you need teamwork.
Great penetration by Smith, dropping it off.
But most of all, you need vision.
Look at this kid! Are you serious? Are you for real?
Not that vision, Optus vision.
The Lakers and the Heat are running hot. This one could go either way. Saturday, 11:30, live on ESPN.
In April 1997, this is Sports Australia.
That is absolutely beautiful!
Live and exclusive rugby league in the Optus Cup.
He scores! Oh, it doesn't get any better than that.
Live and exclusive rugby union with the Hahn and Amy Cups.
He's over! He's got the brace and he's in!
Live and exclusive basketball when the Australian Opals take on Japan.
It's one-on-one. The Australians have cut them up in the open floor.
Exclusive pay TV highlights of the Australia-Czech Republic Davis Cup clash.
Yes, awesome backhand. That's the way it's done.
Exclusive pay TV highlights of all the IndyCar action and the Buenos Aires Formula One.
And off, that's a major off there. Jos Verstappen into Tyrrell.
Exclusive European PGA golf and off-road adrenaline with the National Mountain Bike Championships.
And this is going to be very close, 6:57, fastest time of the day so far.
Exclusive pay TV wrestling action in WrestleMania.
There's going to be one man standing at the end of this thing, and it's going to be me.
Live and exclusive soccer with the Ericsson Cup. Exclusive English Premier League. And in a live pay TV exclusive, Australia's Socceroos take on Hungary. See it all this April, only on Sports Australia, Channel 12.
Welcome back to Parramatta Stadium. We've just seen the opening match in the Hahn Cup. Eastwood victorious over Sydney University, 21 points to 17. And Warwick War, I guess we saw enough from Sydney University to suggest they won't be the easy beats in 97.
Absolutely, no walkover, Russell. University this year, different side to last year, or showing signs of what they had at the end of last season, with the Kelleher's coming over from Randwick and the addition of a few young players like Richie Waugh coming into the side. But the enthusiasm that Bill Eddy's injected into them shows for a good year this year.
Yeah, looks fantastic. Let's take a look at the stats from the match we've just seen. And the scoreline, 17 points to 23. Eastwood the victors there. 23 penalties to 9, an astronomical amount there. Really kept them in the game. But down the rucks and mauls, I've got to say, Warwick, that's one of the keys for me. They held their own to Sydney University, and then the turnovers, well, they turned that around.
They did turn that around, and the turnaround was in the second half for University. So that's indicative of it. University, they managed to hold on to a little bit more ball or not give it back to Eastwood, and Eastwood gave it back to University, and that's what we've seen in the statistics and the scoreline.
Well, there's some good tries in this particular match, none better than one of the ones we're going to see right now. That is Matt Miller in action. Really a no kick that time from Richie Waugh. Well taken. Chris Norton gets around one tackle. And what about Matt Miller? Bobs up anywhere, gets that one. The try scoring machine in form very early in 1997 and over for a real beaut try.
Picking right up where he left off last year, Matt Miller.
And what about this try from Chris Norton? The bounce. Norton set up the first one for Miller and then he got the ideal bounce for this particular one. Haven't heard of Miller before.
But Norton's try, the kick again came from nothing really. And the third try here we see Richie Waugh. He's cut the gap. A ball inside, ball outside previous, but then he went himself and scored a great try.
Yeah, great try by Richie Waugh, some fantastic play. It was, I guess, a fairly loose match. I'm hoping for a better one in this second match. We see Gordon up against hometown favourites here, Parramatta, and I'm looking forward to that one, Warwick Wharf. For the simple fact, the Gordon side, they don't have a host of players in the Waratah side as they've had in the past. We'll see Mark Hartill leading their forwards and Tim Wallace running the backs.
Yeah, both players getting pipped out of the Super 12 squad, so they'll be in to prove themselves because it's certainly not over. It's a long season in the Super 12. They're also got to make up for last year's pretty ordinary effort from Gordon, and so they're going to come out tonight. Parramatta, they haven't really got the talent that Gordon have, and certainly haven't got the incentive, although they will think they have.
Well, all eyes on Gordon for this second match. Don't go away, we'll be back real soon.
Every goal, every shot, every moment, Australians.
Miller tries to get the pass. Picked up now by Jonathan Bell. Ireland have to get support in. They've got it out wide. It's David Humphreys. David Humphreys goes round Christian Vial. He's going all the way, and the Irish have scored a fourth try. But is it too late? It's going to be too late, but conversion should be the end. Woods misses the conversion, and Ireland certainly missed their chance against Argentina. The final score 31-22.
Disappointing game there for the Irish. They'll look back and rue the defensive errors. And really Argentina did extremely well to turn the game round after such an impressive start by the Irish.
So the Ireland side, their first entry into the competition, sees them go down to Argentina by 31 points to 22.
Every goal, every shot, every moment, Australian soccer at its finest. Channel 12's full coverage of the Ericsson Cup, the breeding ground of Socceroos superstars.
Look, I can see vapour trails coming off him.
Get hooked on the emotion, the guts and the skill of Australian soccer at its competitive best. Newcastle play Melbourne tonight at 11, Brisbane meet West Adelaide tomorrow at 9, South Melbourne take on Marconi 7 Sunday on Sports Australia.
Well, it's looked pretty much this way all day. Grey background, intermittent rain, drizzle more than rain, but thankfully most of the stadium is covered, so the fans have stayed in good health. We now look forward to a second ceremony. We had a bit of an opener at midday, and now we've got something which is very appropriate to Hong Kong. some, well, I was going to say some ethnic dances, not quite what I had in mind there, but we'll see something a little bit more typical in just a moment. But I suppose this is typical for Hong Kong. The fans come in all shapes, sizes, colours. And to be honest, the one thing that I've really missed, the Papua New Guineans have come every year, the tuk-tuks, and they always got, a couple of years ago, they had a life-size replica of a tuk-tuk, an alligator, that they paraded around the stadium. And it was always a feature that the supporters collar one particular area of the stadium and stay there, so we always know where to look for the supporters. So just waiting for this ceremony to get underway, and it's going to be interesting because I think it really underlines just how much the rugby fraternity is trying to emphasise its pioneering towards the youth. I mean, obviously with the handover coming on a little bit later in the year, the game of rugby will come under a little bit of threat, but there are enough local Chinese players. We had Chan Phuc Ping, the first ever local Hong Kong Chinese player to represent Hong Kong, came on as substitute in Hong Kong's game earlier today, and I think this is really the way forward. But of course earlier in the week we had Chinese garrison playing a 15s match against the local garrison, the Black Watch, and beating them, and I gather that made headlines across the world. So if China ever take up the game with some sort of menace, watch out. So here we go, the start of this ceremony, especially choreographed by a team including Lindsay McAllister, Emma Stewart, Lynn Price, Carmen Ali and Lung Tai Ming, and special music as well. And this is all under the heading of Feng Shui, which, if you don't know anything about Chinese custom, it is basically to bring success and good fortune. You will have heard that Feng Shui, geomancer's science, to bring good luck. Things all have their proper place,